Sí, continuamos. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome. We hope everybody is having a wonderful, wonderful beginning of this beautiful Labor Day weekend, and also a wonderful beginning to Shabbat. We want to welcome our family of lighting candles, Dom and Sue Comey, who are going to light candles in a minute, and of course, Deborah Comey, who is our Shaliach Tzibur, our wonderful song leader and cantorial soloist this evening. So wonderful to have you with us. And through the miracles of Zoom, we can be in two different cities, but together for Shabbat. So although these times are sometimes difficult and challenging, there's also great opportunities for us to take advantage of. So thank you, Deborah, for lending your beautiful skills and voice and spirit to our Shabbat service. And we'll begin on page 2 as we ask Sue and Dom to light our Shabbat candles. Sue, I think you were muted. Why don't you try that blessing again?
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlek ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. And we turn together to page 10.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
As we turn together to page 20, we continue to welcome Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi.
Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala panei shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibor achad. Hismi anu el chamochad. Adonai l'chu shemo echad. L'tei Moshe v'ret v'hili la 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 l'chad dodi. Likrat kala. Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. Panei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechurech nikla, ki mechor habarachat, mirosh mikedem nisucha, sov machase b'machashiv la 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 chadodi, likrat kala, panei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. Boi b'shalom ateret bala. Gam b'simcha u'b'tochula. Tochimenu am segula. Boi chala la 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 chadodi. Likrat kala. Panei Shabbat nekabela. L'chalachadodi likrat kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela.
On page 24, we join in Shalom Aleichem, those words of welcome, welcoming each other and asking for that wonderful blessing of peace.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Beitzem shalom, malachecha shalom, malachei elyon. Mihi melech, malachei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
And on page 26, we join in Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal, yitgadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
Belma divrach yartev yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'hayedechu beit Yisrael. Bagala u'bizman kariv. Mimeru, amen. Yishmei Rabba mevorach. V'yalam olam me'amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yaparveh Raman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh, v'yitalal shemei dekudesha, b'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, yushbechata v'nechemata, damiram be'alma, Bimeru, amen.
And we turn over the page as we join in Baruch Hu, the prayer that says to us and to God that we're in fact ready to pray, having done the introductory section, the Kabbalat Shabbat, those wonderful songs that get us in the mood, that get us ready, and now we're ready to launch into the evening part of the part of the evening service, the Ma'ariv service, with Baruch Hu.
Yai dai da da dai, yai dai da 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 dai, yai dai da da dai, yai da 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 dai, yai dai da da dai, yai da 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 dai, yai da 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 dai.
we turn over the page and join in Ma'ariv Aravim, speaking of the beauty and the fabulous creation of the world and of the surrounding experiences of our families, our friends, the constellations, and the beautiful stars in the sky. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitfuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshech v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom umevi layla. Umavdil ben yom uven layla. Adonai tzavaot shemo. El chai v'kayam. Tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Everlasting love you have offered your people Israel, by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them. For they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
And we continue with the Ahavta on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha Tishinam tam levanecha, vidibartam bam, vishivtecha bevetecha, uvelechtecha vaderech, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וכתבתם לעיות על לבביך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Page 43. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable, without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. On page 44, we join in Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם B'nai Reuven, B'nai Yisrael, Oti le'olam, V'shamru B'nai Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, le'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheit yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim v'et haaretz, v'shamru b'nei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, la'ashok et ha-Shabbat, v'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat, v'dorotam berit olam.
Page 46. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, or rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open our lips, so that our mouths may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Hail Hagadol Hagibor Vanora, Elion, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei hakol, וזוכר הסתייבות ואימות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורפא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך ממית ומחיין, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני לחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום בחלוך הסלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Blessed are you, Eternal One, the Holy God. Page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai v'kadesh haShabbat. Page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. And there may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, and all Israel, and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yira na'avod. Page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'eh lehodot. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace and its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael bashalom. We take a few moments now and leave the prayers of our tradition aside and look inward to our own thoughts, our own prayer, those prayers that are in our own hearts, in our own minds. So we pause for some moments of silent prayer.
Say shalom b'mrumav, Urase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru, v'imru, amen. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom. Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yahase shalom, Yahase shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
We turn together to page 253 as we think of all those who need a blessing of healing, all those who are suffering from the COVID-19 virus, their families, their friends who suffer along with them, the wonderful medical professionals who every day strive and work so hard to heal and to make people's lives just a little bit easier. And we think of all those who are ill of any sort of variety and who need that extra energy of healing that we create when we join together in our prayers for healing. And so we mention Sean Brumberger, Michael Brumberger, Jennifer Alsop, Lisa Chinsky, Joan Harf, Frances Miller, Emily Bostwick, Nancy Comey Bell, Fran Porras, Kevin Hicks, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Eric Perry, Judith Goldman, Myrna Urkov, and Scott Gordon. And if you have other names that you would like to add, please add them into our chat box so that we can share that energy. And as we join together in our prayer for healing, we hope that people heal quickly and wholly.
Misheberach Avotenu Mekor Habracha Limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mekor Habracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are about a week away from Slichot. Our Slichot service will happen next Saturday evening. And I'll tell you a little bit about the plans for that in a minute, but I want to talk about what slichot is supposed to be. So there are several traditions of getting ready for the high holidays. There are the holidays of Rosh Hashanah and then Yom Kippur that follows. And the way we prepare is to get ourselves into that frame of mind of reflection and introspection, to say to ourselves, what are the things that we did over the course of the year that we're proud of, and what are the things that we did that we're perhaps not so proud of and want to change for next year. The word slichot means apologies. So if you were to bump into someone in Israel, you would say, slicha, I'm sorry. And so slichot are the plurals, so there are apologies. Which means that this is the time of the year when we apologize to those that we may have wronged. We go to people that we have that we've wronged in some way and ask their forgiveness. It's just hard work to ask for forgiveness, and hard work to own up to things that we've done that weren't so great. And then when we stand and come together for our experience of Yom Kippur, in which we ask God for forgiveness, we ask God knowing that we have settled the score between people. And there's that reading that we've all read, many, many times, that says, Yom Kippur is for you to settle the score between you and God. The score that needs to be settled between you and somebody else, that's your hard work to do. And so part of the liturgy gets changed. Part of the liturgy gets changed so that we can begin to focus ourselves and to try to think of the things that we'd like to change, things that we are looking forward to perhaps in this next year. This, of course, has been a very different and strange and challenging past half year for sure. These past 6 months of dealing with COVID-19 issues and restrictions and changes and things that we can't do and things that we are used to doing, and certainly for lots of our kids who returned to school in one way or another this past week, life is different. Life is very different. If they're in school in person, they have very different sets of activities and challenges. If they're at home, there are other challenges of being at home, of not having the social interaction that they're used to, that kids really need. And so perhaps we're thinking of ways that we hope things will change and get better over the coming year. And perhaps we're thinking of things that we've been doing that we could do in a better way. We could reach out to people in more frequent ways, for instance. Connect with people, perhaps. And one of the ways our liturgy calls on us to think about these things is through the call of the shofar. So on each day of the month of Elul, which is the month that precedes Rosh Hashanah, if you were to go to a morning service, you would hear the shofar. Now, most of us, I'm gonna guess, but not all of us are familiar with this tradition. In fact, I have to say that before I went to rabbinic school, I had no idea. And I was in my apartment on the morning, sometime in the summer. And of course, in Israel, at that time, at least, people didn't really have air conditioning, so all the windows were open, the patio doors were open. And at about 5 a.m, we heard this incredibly loud blast of the shofar. Now, my roommates and I, sort of woke up and jumped up and couldn't understand what was happening. And of course, it was the synagogue that was directly opposite our apartment building which had morning services very, very early. It was a Sephardic synagogue, and the Sephardic tradition actually is to go extra early in the morning so that you are eager to participate in slichot and to hear the shofar. And so, of course, we had to go downstairs and ask people what was going on, and then we were, sort of told, and had this wonderful experience of being woken up the whole month of Elul as we got ourselves ready for high holidays. We were woken to the sound of the shofar that brought it back to us very powerfully. So we're going to ask Brad Fox to blow the shofar for us, and the shofar blowing is one that is done with you hear one version or one iteration of each of the various sounds of the shofar. So we start with Tekiah, Shavarim, Teruah, and then Tekiah at the end. Please. Wonderful, thank you, Yeshua Koach. And so we hope that you'll come and join us for our Slichot experience next Saturday. I'm going to put up the information that you probably received today in your temple topics. I want to talk a little bit about this. This is an amazing opportunity that we're working with. Dan Nichols is the musician that is responsible for many of the songs that we actually used this evening when Deborah and I planned the service. We didn't actually do that on purpose, but there is an energy, and who knows? We were called on to use many of Dan Nichols' compositions in the service. And Dan is going to be with us. We've put together this Slichot program, and we'll be joined by a number of smaller congregations around the country who are all combining together to experience this with Dan and with each other. And so we'll join together at 8 o'clock sharp on the Zoom link there. And we will hold our own Havdalah and Slichot brief service, and we will also have the opportunity to change over our Torah covers. So we'll change over the Torah covers into our high holiday Torah covers, symbolically making that transition between the rest of the year and our sacred days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So, and then at 8:30 we'll begin the program. It's going to be a combination of slichot music and also other music and commentary and participation. So we hope that you'll join us. So at 8:30 we'll pull up the YouTube link and share that out with everybody. We'll also post it if anybody wants to go directly to that. Just in case something happens with the technology, because you never know. So we'll post that, but we'll share it with everybody and be able to experience this wonderful opportunity together. Dan has been an amazing musician and resource for our community for many years. In fact, and one of the I mean you probably don't know the number of songs that we sing that are his, but we have many of them that are, and hopefully you'll be able to join us. So with that, we will turn to Aleinu on page 282.
There we go. I muted myself for that last little bit. Okay. Aleinu l'shabech ladon hakol, latet gedula l'utzer breshit, shalos anu keguye haratzot, v'lo samanu l'mishpachot hadama, shalos sam kalchenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechohamanam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malhei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shehu notei shamayim vehosed aretz u'moshe v'yikaro b'shamayim imal u'shkinatu zo v'goev meromim hu Eloheinu ein od. Emed Malkeinu Efesulato, Kakatu Bitorato, Vidatayam Vishbota Elavavecha, Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim, Bashamayim Imal, Ve'haaretz Mirchat, in od v'nemar v'chaya Adonai lamelech al chol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shamo echad.
Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. We're in the period of Aninut, that time between the time of death and the funeral for Richard Moschel, who was a longtime member of our synagogue, and his funeral will be on Sunday at 11 o'clock at the Chautauqua Cemetery. We're also in the period of Shloshim for Barbara Shapiro, and thank you, Deb. This was a wonderful way to honor your grandmother's memory. And for Ruth Randall and Joan Strasser. And we observe the yahrzeits on this Shabbat for Ida Cohen, Benjamin Herman, Samuel Levick, Gerda Schaffner, Hannah Kurek, Selma Gold, Marilyn Levinson, Harry N. Goldberg, Henry Kluins, Leo Weil, Raymond Schatz, Richa Michal, Herman Rosenberg, Louis Hirsch, Frank Kaufman, Pascal Solomon, Nathan Neubauer, Leopold Frenkel, and Jetta Fellheim. And if you have other names that you would like to add, please add them into our chat box so that we can appropriately recognize and honor the memories of all of our loved ones, as we turn to words of Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ba'alma divrach churutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon uv'yom echon, uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach la'olam u'lormeh almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalel shemei d'kudsha barichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru, amen. Yehesh lama Rabba min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who grants peace in the high and distant heights grant peace for us, for all Israel, for all the world, as together we say, amen. We hope that you'll join us immediately following our service for our community oneg, our virtual oneg on Zoom, and you can find that link in the information that was emailed out to you. I will also try to post it here in the chat box. I should have had that ready. And so hopefully you'll be able to join us for our oneg. It's a wonderful way just to connect with everybody and touch base and be able to say hello. We don't stay on all that long, but it's a nice time to be there together with everyone. And here's the link in the chat box. And so we also invite you to hopefully join us on Saturday morning, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. for Torah study. A great way to engage in conversation. Wide-ranging topics seem to come up as we make the Torah portion of the week relevant to our daily lives. Again, as I mentioned, next Saturday evening at starting at 8 p.m., we'll join together for Havdalah and then our Slichot program with Dan Nichols at 8:30. And tonight we're going to close with, Deborah, what are we closing with?
Im Tirtzu.
Im Tirtzu. If you will it, it is no dream.
Im Tirtzu. Im Tirtzu. Ein Zohagada. Ein Zohagada. Lekiotam Pusipe Atzeinu. Be'eretz Zion. Yerushalayim. Tirtzu. Im Tirtzu. Ein Zohagada. Ein Zohagada. Lekiotam Pusipe Atzeinu.
We wish everybody a wonderful Labor Day weekend. Shabbat Shalom. Stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Thank you again, Deborah. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.